Good morning, everyone. My name is Christine McDowell, and this is Pull Up a Chair. But Sherry forgot her chair, so it's just me. Sherry had some situations that showed up today that prevented her from being here. So I have my little timer going to keep me in 22 minutes. I hope I can talk that long. And I have my little notes to help me to remember in case I need to remember something that what's that pregnant pause where you don't know what you're going to talk about? What I can share and what I always share is what I have experienced and what I hear and what I feel. Because if I even begin to try and speak about something that I don't understand, then it just doesn't come out right. But before I like to begin with some light language, and people have asked me about light language, and they go, "What is it that you're saying?" And I said, "Really, I don't know. Um, what it is what do you feel? The soul is just your journey, your soul. It's traveled many lifetimes, and the light language is a language for the soul to the soul. Tiakasa na a niakate eke aka to ye e te a choni ana niakase eke akata chona a ni iki akatata. Choko tia tia kiakata a tiakata ni ikiatata. Na nia na 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 iakasa e keata. What I'm hearing is that what that was about was that you are not alone. And many people do feel that they are alone. In a sense, it's a good thing to be alone because it's teaching you to delve deeper into your heart. And it's very hard for us to do that because we have been conditioned to do the opposite. I remember years ago when I was doing, I called it therapy, um, but I don't believe anyone's broken and I don't believe anyone needs fixing. I just believe that we get a little confused, and confusion is good because it teaches us more about embodying who we are. And I remember speaking to a lady and saying to her that she needed to take more care of herself. And this is a long time ago, and I really didn't understand then what I do now. And she looked at me innocently and she said, "You want you? It makes me you make me sound like it's you want me to be selfish." And I said, "Yeah." And I really do mean that today because it is so vital to our growth. We spend all our time pleasing others because we want to fit in. I did that. I did it all the time. Many times I felt like I was someone's doormat, and all I was doing was just shutting myself down even more. Um, it's as I say, it is so important to take this time and realize you are not alone. And one of the things that we were going to talk about that Sherry and I wanted to talk about, and funnily enough, somebody showed up here yesterday and picked up on the same conversation. And it was, how do you know? How do you know if the choice you're about to make is the best choice? And I know for myself, when I grew up and when I was married way back when, used to drive Richard bananas every time I would go and ask 20 people what they thought. And I guess because I felt that if I made a decision based on what they thought, then it would be their fault and not mine. Because then I would say, well, that's what they said. For fear of not wanting to be wrong. But you see, we're not in this world of separation. It's not about being wrong or being right. So this friend of mine who was here yesterday, he said, "But how do you know?" I mean, he's going, I walk into my house and I know there's things I need to get rid of. But he said, I sit there and I think, well, what if I get rid of it and I need it? And the same conversation that Sherry and I were having, Sherry was deciding, what is the best choice? How do I do this? How do I make sure it's right? But you see, again, it falls back into that place of um, right and wrong. There is no right or wrong. Whatever choice we make, you have to trust. And I think that is the biggest hurdle for everyone is to trust that whatever choice you make is the right choice. And if the next day you wake up and you go, well, this doesn't feel right, then make another choice. Nothing is forever. So I said to this friend of mine, I said, look, I said, if it's about clearing out your house and you're not sure what to let go of, I said, put a box at the front door. And every time you think of something or look at something and say, well, I don't really use that, take it and put it in the box and forget about it. And at the end of the week, take the box to a thrift store. I mean, seriously. And it's the same thing with people. Because as we grow and evolve, and it's coming out now as of April 1st, people are having more clarity, but they don't know what they're having clarity about. They'd like to see more clearly, but you see, everything has to be shookened up. I don't know if that's a word, but anyway, sounds good. It has to be knocked off its feet first till you realize, is this where I need to be? And it's not about being right or wrong, it's trusting. So when you let something go, if it's meant to be, it's going to come back to you. And it'll come back to you in such a way that you'll go, oh, okay, I guess I really do need this. Because you see, you can't let go of anything, or nothing really has a hold on you. It's what your ego feels that's important. So the trusting part is vital, and it's it's submerging yourself into your heart. That is, I know for years I used to say to people, you have to love yourself. But it took me a long time to get to the place that I am in now where I know that I do. But you see, love is it's not just one level. There's so many different stages to it. There's so many different stages to awakening. So some people arrive at it all in one fell swoop. And others, like myself, have chosen a different path and chosen a path of a little more pain and endurance and a few more ruts in the road. And I know I used to always wonder what my life would be like if what I know now, if I knew it way back then. How different would my life be? I heard someone on Todd's show the other day talking about a similar subject. We have to make these mistakes. They're not mistakes, but we have to go through them. We have to go through all those ruts in the road. Because you see, then we learn how to go through the next rut, because then it doesn't become so overwhelming. It just goes, oh, I've seen that before. And you walk away from it, or you walk around it. Doesn't mean that you have to submerge yourself into it, because, well, you can. Everything you do is a choice. You can choose everything. You can pick something up and then say, I really don't need this. I've done that, even here. This place I just moved into a year ago, not even. And there's things in here that I go, well, I don't need this. I can let it go. And I guess I was fortunate enough that I left Montreal and sold 90% of the stuff in my house. So I wasn't coming with a lot of stuff. But it's interesting how anything I need, it shows up in a thrift stop. It's in a thrift store. So I just say, well, gee, I think I need that. And then I go out and boom, it's there. That's the fluidity of your life. If it doesn't show up, it's because you're not supposed to have it. It's very simple. It's like people who are struggling to make things happen. I mean, try and figure out another way to make it happen. And if it's not going to happen, then walk away from it. Because we get so focused on trying to make something work that we're missing everything that's passing by us. And it will show up again, but then at that point, you'll be so frustrated that you won't even see it. And it will take years before you see it again. Everything in your life can be fluid. The question is that what you want? Or do you need to be going against the current? Gosh, that's a lot of work. So, yeah, so the choices are yours. And it is about following your heart. It's about, you know, feeling your words before you speak. And it's it's letting go of that judgment that you're not good enough, that you're not perfect enough. One of the things I do in my sessions is um, I tell people they need to forgive themselves, and people forget that. We put ourselves under such strong microscopes that we have to behave a certain way. We don't want to be like our parents. We don't want to be like our friends or our sisters or brothers because. And we try to be someone else because they look better, they look more successful. We beat ourselves up because we're too short or too tall or fat enough or not fat enough or whatever. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. Forgive yourself for not being the most perfect husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, brother, mother, father. You don't have to be perfect. Just be you. And I think that's the next subject. I was watching Jason Little Estes talk the other day. He's incredible. He was talking about polarities, and I never really quite understood what polarities meant. And he said, you need to avoid polarities. You cannot keep creating polarities. I have a bug flying around. I'm going to knock it off its feet. Um, and he explained it so beautifully. He said, when you say to someone, have a happy day, you're inferring that they're sad. If you again say to someone, I hope you find your inner peace, you're inferring that they have chaos. That's a polarity. So it's not about creating polarities anymore. It's not like wishing someone to have a nice day. It's just be. How do you be? Well, I learned that. When I arrived here in British Columbia, not knowing too many people, as some of you know, I went for a walk in the woods, or I said I went for a trip in the woods, and ended up doing a number on my wrist, which created an operation and 5 screws in my wrist. And I have little wrists. And I remember walking out of the woods pretending that no, other than the fact that I nearly wanted to pass out from the pain. And I remember yelling at God and saying, what the hell? Why'd you do this to me? Like, it's so easy to blame God. Isn't it? It's so easy. Well, why are you at fault? It's somebody else's fault, certainly not mine. So as I'm walking out of the woods, all I could hear was, would you have listened otherwise? And I had to think about that. And I realized, yeah, that's really true. So within a split second of blaming, I went inside of myself and said, okay, what is it I need to learn? Because everything has a learning. There's that learning word. People say, I'm so sick and tired of learning. Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. The day you stop learning is the day that you're no longer on this planet, because then you've learned everything that you've needed to learn. And that's your job, is to unfold and rediscover the beauty that lives within you, the magnificence that's you. So I thought walking in the woods was really, powerful, and being with the trees and grounding me. But when I was walking through the woods, I'd say 60, 70% of the time my head was going. My brain was going like a little ticker tape. And always trying to fix and make things right. And oh, just I the thoughts are just incredible. And all I heard was learn to be. And I didn't really understand that either. I said, how do you be? I don't know how to be. What's be mean? Be, be. And then I just heard, just breathe and be with what is in front of you. And I thought, oh, that's way too simple. And that's going to be a lot of work, because it means I have to stop my brain from nattering. That's way too much work. And it was like a giggle. He said, well, do you want your other wrists broken? I go, no, no, thank you. I got the first message. Give me some time. I'll figure it out. So that's what it is. It's just being. And now when I walk through the woods, I say hello to everyone, the nature spirits, the trees, the grass, the earth. And I walk with meaning, with love in my heart. And yeah, the odd time my thoughts get yanked away, and I go into I love you, and then I go back into seeing what's in front of me, feeling what's around me. And when I'm in my car, music is a distraction. I know people love music, but it is a distraction. I have to look at my time. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. 4 minutes left. I can talk, can't I? Anyway, everything is a distraction. So when you're in your car, might I suggest you turn off your radio and listen to your heart? Even if it's for 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute, that is being. It's just listening to your heart, listening to your breath. And if a thought comes up, you just kiss it goodbye. See, that is what this life is about, really. It's about being. It's about being in your heart, living within yourself, and being okay with who you are. Because you are an incredible being of love and light. You are so valued on this planet now. And take care of you. Because you see, if you don't take care of you, then who will? That's your job. That is your sole job, is to take care of you. Tianana e keaka te oko se e kea. Chonanana tiaka se e keata. Chochia na a niaka se e keaka. To ya niaka se e kea. Chana nia niana. Thank you so much for dropping by. And I see there's a few comments, but I'm sorry I didn't get to them, because it's very hard to stay focused on what I'm doing and saying and looking at comments. So I will answer your comments. And if you have others, please feel free to do comment. And questions are greatly appreciated. So until next time, Sherry will be back or I will fire her. Have an incredibly awesome day. And again, thank you so much for watching. So much love and light to you all.